Alright, so here it is. The Yamato fleet is now kind of complete. Still needs a little bit of painting here and there, but we're going to get to that in a moment. But let's just review what we have here. Here's the original, of course, EDF Battleship Mecha Collide version, or the classic version of the Mecha Collide. I'll definitely paint this up. I spent a lot of time, and let me remove this to expose this. Spent a lot of time sanding this down at the end, so when it eventually gets glued, the barrels doesn't point down, it will point evenly, because I really didn't like the fact that it was, you know, it didn't go down right. I got another one here that also is like the same thing. There we go. So this is kind of cute. I like that. The Dreadnought version, of course, is an amazing looking kit to look at. And then we have the two Gamilas ships, which is the high-speed attack cruiser and the heavy cruiser, which I was a bit surprised that this is bigger than this, and how small the Dreadnought is. And then, of course, the Dreadnought is very small compared to the Andromeda that I built last year as well. Here are the fighter crafts that came with the Dreadnought, which is identical to the ones that I built or painted last year. I was going to pull down the Andromeda to do as a side-by-side comparison, but I said no, I'll do that later after the paint job. But let's discuss what these kits look overall. Before we start, let me just say that if you guys are interested in getting these kits, HobbyLink Japan has these kits on sale. The 1/1000 scale Space Battleship Yamato's Gamilas set ship number 1 is retailing at $28.83. That's a reduction of 20% from its original price of $36.04. The Dreadnought is at even an attractive price of $34.15. It used to be $42, so that's another reduction there. If you guys want to get these ships and you want to get it at a decent price, right now I see HobbyLink Japan has the best offer. If you are planning to get it. I don't know about this, I can't find this, but you know, what are you going to do? For this ship, I really am impressed with how this came out and how it looks, but all the work that I put in on these little winglets that you see here, which I could not show during the course of the build because that would have been a boring task for me to do that, but I had to do it for each and every one, and I had to be very, very careful with these, because when I used my tweezers to grab them to put them on, they would bing right off. You know, they slip off really fast. There was no, because it on how its angle it is. One just snapped off my tweezers, bounced off the wall of, you know, off the board, and fell right on top, you know, on the table again. And then I said, okay, I am not using this. I had to figure out another way to use to put them on. And I ended up using these clips with the rubber padding on it, so it was easy for me to pick up, grab, and then put them on, and then let go once it's glued on. And this one had a lot, over 20 of these. Look at that, it's like a spiky animal. Yeah, this was really nice. Oops, let me just move that out of the way for a second. For the cruiser, for the heavy cruiser, it's a solid build, and I need to finish up by gluing these. I said that before because I don't want that gap to show off, but I had to clean up a lot of areas that needed to be sanded down and clean up. And the winglets it had here was very few, like about 10 of these compared to the 30 that was on this. But it has great detail and overall look, very menacing look to it. A shark-like detail type ship. The Dreadnought, same thing, where I had to put on the little antenna, I don't know, antennae, the antennas on the cannons. So they came out okay. They're not glued. The whole thing is not glued on to this. I can actually pop it out, and eventually I'm going to have to do that because I actually want to paint the flight deck. I don't want to actually use these decals here, because the last time I used decals like this, yeah, it didn't look right. It didn't look right at all. Now, I talked about this before in the last video, where this had to use the battery compartment, the battery pack thing, to power up the engines and the sublike engines. And I was looking online to see if I could find it, but it's an expensive looking little device. It's like about $25, maybe $30. Just so you can put 2 AA batteries in it, or I think it was AAA batteries, just to power 2 little light sources. Yeah, it's expensive. Very expensive. I'm actually thinking, because there's a lot of gaps and rooms in there, make my own light source. It's only 2 light bulbs I have to put in the back, the wiring, and I do have, I believe, a little battery box with a switch on it. I'm going to try to do that if that's possible and put it on this. So that way not only will see the light source from the wave motion gun and the flight deck, bridge I mean, you will also see the light source here as well. So that is something that I'm going to explore on the possibility of doing that. So with that being said, let's clear the table and begin priming my Yamato fleet. Alright, so I just finished priming all the ships here, as you can see. There's the battleship, I'm going to put to the side here. Dreadnought's over here. And the 2 Gamilas cruisers are here. I just ran out of primer from Mr. Hobby's. I was using this 1500 gray, and I was going to say I should have more, and I did find more that were all empty. And I was like, damn it, I thought I had more. The only thing I have left is the black, but I don't think I want to paint this guy all black. Maybe not a good idea. It's going to be light. It's going to be another tone of gray anyway. So I decided to use another type of primer, which I had as a backup, and it's this one, Tester's spray enamel. This is a primer, semi-gloss primer. I forgot that this thing goes on a little thick, and there's some lumps there that just fell right on it. I just immediately cleaned it and began to spray it again, but there's some stuff there in the back that I need to at least go in and wait until it dries, give it a good day, then go in and sand it down so I can recover it up again and then just finish it up. I've already did these little guys as well, and just as a safety precaution, I put tape right in here, so that way I cover up the windows, and I removed the whole thing to remove the battery pack and the clear part, because I thought maybe I'm gonna end up spray painting inside and covering that up. So I wanted to take care of that first. I didn't get a chance to spray these little guns yet. I will do that in a moment, but for now this is what I got. Wait until it dries, and then we're gonna move on to painting the colors. I think we'll begin with the Gamilas ships. Okay, so now that the 3, 2, 1. Now, before I begin painting light blue on this, as you can see here, I did a little bit of pre-shading, or panel lining you could say. And I was using the Real Touch marker black to highlight the areas that needed the highlighting, you could say, or the detailing, and it came out pretty good. Plus I made sure that the priming did come down nice and smooth again, just to make sure. So I got the paint ready. Let's start from here. I'm just going to give it a light pass as like a top coat, like a first coat, you could say. didn't do the bottom part. Thought maybe I'll leave it alone because these will be on the table and they're going to see under it. Ooh, this is a nice, the blue came out nice. Ooh. Oh, it's really nice. Oh, nice. That's the first coat on this. Let's do the first coat on this one. Ah, ran out. Alright, so far it looks good. Let me just fill in the reservoir to continue on. And wait until it dries so we can do a second coat. I'm just finishing up putting on the second layer now. Because as you see, when I showed you the pre-shading, you saw like how wide the gap was with the marker. But with the second layer, it starts to vanish. And then you see a pre-shading form to it. I always did like this technique. I forgot who showed me this, so I have to give credit. I wish I can give that person credit. And this paint really goes down nice and smooth, very smooth. Oof, I forgot how nice this paint is. I forgot what kit I wanted to paint this, use this paint. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Right now I'm just going to get into the nooks and crannies. But painting the elite ships looks nice in blue. That came out nice. And this came out nice too. I'm going to wait until it dries so I can then mask off this entire section up front here and here so I can do the painting on this side. The back end I'm going to pop out this so I can paint them separate. This will be painting along with the other kit. And I'm going to paint something, I believe it's, ooh, it got stuck there. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was red or purplish, the engine color was in the anime, but I will definitely have to review the video again and check it out. But other than that, this came out very nice. Very nice. There's a little bit of a saturation here, and I don't know where it came from, but repassing again takes care of that. Oh. And sometimes at specific angles, you miss something. I think I got it. Yeah. I think we're done. We're done. So that's pretty cool. I like how this came out. Hope you guys like it. Let's move on to the next part of this kit, to paint.